Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we've got a pretty ambitious goal.
We do.
We're looking at, what, 9 really different scriptural sources?
Yeah, things like genealogies from 4 Chronicles, laws from Exodus, even, Revelation 12, all over the map.
And the mission is to pull out a single unifying theme from all of them.
Exactly. And then we want to take that theme and see how it applies to a current celestial sign, Comet ATLAS, C2025K1.
Okay. So what's the big takeaway from stitching all these texts together?
Well, it's fascinating, actually. Despite the huge range, different times, different genres, one core idea just jumps out.
Which is?
It's this ancient cosmic conflict, the war of the serpent and the sea, and it's not just some side story. It feels like the main engine of the whole narrative.
Interesting. The war of the serpent and the seed. Where do we start unpacking that?
I think the best starting point is Isaiah 50, verse 11. It really lays out this fundamental choice. We could call it the War of Lights.
The War of Lights. Okay.
Yeah, the prophet basically says, look, you either trust God's light, this unseen divine source, or you join those who kindle fire and gird on sparks themselves.
Kindling your own fire. So creating your own light source.
Precisely. And that's the key. Some translations, like the Net Bible, they don't just say sparks, they say flaming arrows.
Flaming arrows. That sounds aggressive.
It is. It reframes it. It's not just choosing poorly. It's presented as a deliberate martial act, a rebellion. The Amplified Bible even calls it a man-made plan of salvation.
Wow. So rejecting God's light isn't passive. It's actively creating your own system.
Exactly. And Isaiah warns that path leads straight to sorrow, a bed of grief, actually.
Okay, that really sets the stage for the conflict. So how does the adversary, the dragon figure, fit into this? What's his strategy according to these texts?
Well, piecing it together, we see a sort of 3-pronged attack emerge. First, he's the accuser.
The accuser.
Yeah, the Greek term antidikos, it's a technical legal term for an opponent in court, and it's used specifically for the devil in 1 Peter and Revelation. Ah, okay. So that warning in Matthew, agree with thine opponent quickly. That's tapping into this.
It connects directly. It's acknowledging this spiritual legal battle before the judge.
Okay, so accuser is one. What else?
Second, he's the deceiver. Revelation 12 calls him the one who is leading astray the whole world. He offers those counterfeit systems.
The sparks from Isaiah.
Exactly. Those man-made lights presented as the real thing. And third, he's the devourer.
The devourer. That sounds more direct.
It is. He's the Tannin, the great dragon in Hebrew thought. On Earth, this manifests as, conquering destructive empires. Think Babylon and Jeremiah, described as swallowing up Israel, designed to consume, to obliterate.
So accusation, deception, and outright destruction. That's quite the strategy.
Yeah.
How does the seed, the other side in this war, respond? What's the counterplay?
The sources show a really comprehensive answer, also kind of in 3 parts, through these prophetic types. First, there's the lamb.
Exodus 12, the Passover lamb.
Right, that's the legal answer to the accuser. Substitutionary atonement. It satisfies the law's demands. Okay, lamb for the accuser. What about the deceiver?
For that, we have the manna. Exodus 16.
Wait, manna? Like the literal bread in the desert.
Yeah.
How does that work today against deception?
Well, think about it. The deceiver offers fake sustenance, those sparks, those man-made systems. Manna represents the true bread, the divine provision.
Ah, so it's about relying on God's daily supernatural help, not human systems, during that wilderness journey.
Exactly. Trusting his provision over the counterfeit. And finally, there's the testimony.
Acts 4, the apostles speaking boldly.
Yes, but it's more than just words. The Greek there is dunamis.
Dunamis, power.
Raw, explosive power. It's the power of the resurrection testimony that publicly shames the word as kataishuno, the adversaries and their lies. It exposes the deception.
Lamb, manna, testimony, a legal answer, a provision answer, and a power answer. Okay, that gives us the whole cosmic conflict framework.
It does.
Now let's bring this down to Earth, or rather, up to the stars. Comet ATLAS C2025K1. How do we map this drama onto its path? We're using ideas like Bollinger's Witness of the Stars, right?
Yeah, the idea that the constellations themselves tell a story. And for ATLAs, we need to look very specifically at its path in October 2025.
Okay, walk us through it.
So the comet starts its journey, visibly anyway, in Virgo, the Virgin, always representing the promise of the seed, the Redeemer.
Right, the beginning of the story.
Then, crucially, it transits directly through Corvus, the Raven. That happens between October 4th and 9th.
Corvus the Raven. Why is that significant?
Because Corvus isn't just some random stars. It's a decan, like a chapter marker associated with Leo, the lion. And historically, Corvus is depicted devouring the carcass of Hydra.
Hydra, the great serpent.
The great serpent, yes.
Yeah, ooh. So the comet's path literally acts out the story. From the promise in Virgo to the serpent, Hydra, being devoured by Corvus.
It graphically traces the entire narrative we just unpacked from the texts. The seed's promise, the serpent's judgment and consumption. It's all there in the comet's movement.
That's pretty stunning. Is there a timing element to you? You mentioned frameworks from people like Ernest L. Martin.
There is. The comet reaches perihelion, its peak brightness, its maximum activity, right around October 8th, 2025.
And where does that date fall?
Smack bang in the middle of the Hebrew Feast of Tabernacles. Sukkot.
And Sukkot is prophetically linked to.
The final establishment of the Messiah's kingdom, the time when God dwells with his people.
So the written word, the celestial path, and the prophetic timing.
Yeah.
They all seem to converge.
It really looks like a non-random alignment, a powerful affirmation of this coherent narrative across Scripture and the heavens.
Okay, that's a lot to take in. Let's leave our listeners with a thought. The ancient Book of Enoch mentions fallen angels, the Watchers, bringing forbidden knowledge, things like weapon-making, sorcery to humans. Now connect that back to Isaiah 50, that warning against kindling your own fire. What kinds of powerful self-generated systems of light today, maybe in AI, maybe new ethical frameworks, maybe even certain self-help trends, could potentially be leading people, unintentionally perhaps, towards that same prophetic bed of grief Isaiah warned about?
That's a deep question. What sparks are we kindling today, thinking they're light?
Something definitely for you to ponder.